Hi. So let's take a look at this Montford DP9 digital piano. We'll take a look at this in 5 main sections. First of all, we'll look at understanding why a digital piano is a great idea for you, especially when you're learning. Then we'll take a look around the actual piano itself and to see what you get. Then we'll take a really good listen to the main piano sound and some others too. Then we'll understand how this will help you learn and practice, and then we'll have a little summary at the end. So let's get started. So let's first of all understand why having a digital piano is a great thing to do and why it's so helpful, especially when you're starting to learn. First things first, a digital piano is light. It is lightweight. It is easy to move around, very much unlike a real piano, as you can imagine. You could pick this up and move it to any room in the house without any problem whatsoever. That's one first big difference. Secondly, these have volume controls. Real pianos do not have volume controls. So you can turn this up, you can turn this down, and most importantly, you can use headphones. So playing and practicing in complete silence is entirely possible. So you imagine that you were perhaps wanting to play in the same room as someone else who was watching TV. You can play in absolute silence. Maybe a child wanted to practice or needed to practice, and they could do it in the same room as another child, maybe who's doing some homework. Using headphones on a digital piano is the perfect solution. Let's take a look at the piano. There are 3 things that set this apart from any other kind of average electronic keyboard. This is a digital piano, and therefore you will have 88 keys, the same amount of keys as you would on a real piano. Secondly, the second important thing is that the keys are touch sensitive. So you press softly, it's quiet. As you press harder and play harder, it gets louder. It means that you can do this right across the keyboard, softly. The keyboard therefore responds to how hard you play by being louder as you play harder, as a real piano would. And thirdly, the keys are weighted like a real piano. So whereas on a real piano the keys would be linked to hammers, which in turn would then hit strings, this Montford DP9 mimics that kind of feel. So it means that rather than being sort of lightweight, thin plastic keys like you'll find on an electronic keyboard, the Montford digital piano has weighted hammer action type keys. So as you play, the keys will sort of bounce back to you and have a certain weight and feel, which means that when you go to another location and have to play a real piano, you will be ready for it and you'll be used to the feel. And that's very important. So further to that, the piano itself is comprised of this top part that you see here with the keys and the speakers, and then there is a floor stand with a central cross member which has 3 pedals, the same pedals that you'll find on an upright or a grand piano. The instrument is powered using a mains adapter, either a 3-pin plug for here in the UK or a 2-pin plug for our friends in Europe. And here on the back you have a number of sockets, including the all-important headphone socket and also a USB socket for connecting to computers if you wish to do so. So, how does it sound? First of all, just worth saying that when you first turn on the piano, you automatically get the main piano sound. You don't have to do anything else. Turn it on and you're ready to play, ready to practice from the off. So let's take a listen. As you can hear then, great sound reproduction in the lower register, in the top, and a good amount of definition here in the center as well. Really, really, really important. So you get an awful lot of guts in the sound, you get the clarity in the center, and then some nice high-end sparkle too. Fantastic for anyone wanting to play and or learn piano. Now, as mentioned before, there are more sounds than just the standard piano sound. In fact, there are 128 sounds, including the main piano sound. So just very briefly, let's just explore these. On the keyboard here, you press the function key, and then there are the various keys down here at the bottom that are labeled piano, electric piano, organ, etc. And all we do is press the function key and one of those, and we get different sounds. So let's go for an electric piano sound. You get this sort of thing. Nice. Organ sound, like a church organ. Handy on Sundays perhaps. A vibraphone, a cool sound like this. Maybe a strings sound, like a string ensemble. Nice for chords. And then a brass sound, which is kind of like a synth brass kind of sound. You may recognize this kind of sound. That's one for the oldies. There's a flute here as well. And then even you can play the drums on the keys if you want to as well. Without going any deeper, if you look in the manual that comes with this Montford piano, it gives you a list of all the 128 sounds that are available, all accessible through the main keyboard interface here. Of course, when you finish playing with all the different sounds, if you want to get back to a standard piano sound, all you have to do is press the function key and the very low A, which is labeled piano, and you're back to the piano sound. Other features here on the keyboard, you have reverb and you have chorus as well. Now, reverb makes it sound like you're playing in a larger sort of room or a concert hall perhaps, so we can turn it off. You should be able to hear the difference here. If I turn it off, it sounds like this. Fine, but if I turn the reverb on, it sounds a bit more like we're playing in a hall. That's always a nice feature, I think, and I tend to use that effect myself more often than not. It adds a bit more body to the sound, especially when playing in a small environment. There's also a chorus function which adds like a kind of doubling ensemble sound to anything. So it's often used though on strings and on electric piano sounds, but it's on here too. This is the piano without it, and then if you turn the chorus on, you'll hear the difference. Again without. And with it on, more of a honky-tonk type of sound, that sort of thing. Anyway, reverb and chorus, excellent extra features, not always found on pianos of this affordable level. So, to the question, how can this Montford piano help you learn and help you practice? Well, first of all, it has a built-in metronome. So, if I turn it on like this, you can hear that the metronome will beat in time, and that allows me then to use it to play along and practice my timing, make sure that I stay in time. It was beating in 4, so 4/4. It will also beat in 3/4, so you can speed it up, you can slow it down as well. This is great because it's handy. By pressing one button, you have a metronome. Ordinarily, when you're learning piano, or many instruments in fact, you'll have to buy a metronome separately, and these can cost 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds or more in fact. So by having this built in to the piano as standard, again, you're making a good saving. Another thing that can help your practice is by recording and playing back what you've played. So if you get a small USB stick, a USB memory stick, and you can plug it in right here on the piano, that enables you then to record what you're playing. And also, if you want to, prior to inserting the USB stick, if you put some MP3 files, such as practice files from the exam board or maybe from your piano teacher, if you put them onto the USB stick, if you pop it in the piano, then you can play along with what's already on the stick. Maybe even, in fact, one of your favorite tracks that you want to learn. Nonetheless, recording and playback via USB on this piano too. So in summary, what do you get with the Montford DP9? You get 88 touch-sensitive, fully weighted keys. The piano feels like a real piano. It also sounds like a real piano, as you've heard, which is very, very important too. And to aid your learning, you get a built-in metronome and you get the ability to record and play back what you have previously played. All in all, it's a great package and very affordable too. So go online and call into your local music store and you can find out more about the Montford DP9 there. Thanks for your time.